Right, wow, well it's great to be back to normal. I have been waiting for this for a long time. Haven't done a class for over a year and a half, and I've really missed them, and I've heard that you guys have missed it too, so we're back. Great.
Yay.
So today I'm going to do a nice Halloween autumnal themed arrangement in a fresh pumpkin, okay? So we'll slice the top off. You've got to carve your own. I did this one earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a nice messy one. And then we have, I've pre-soaked all the oasis. We just shave the sides off and pop that into the opening of the bowl. Okay? And for today, I've got moss, cobwebs, lovely oak leaves, ruscus, that's been sprayed black for Halloween. Because we've sort of trying to get away from plastic, I sprayed some little teasel orangeum heads, and I thought they could look quite like little spiders to go in our web. Then we've got grevillea foliage, which is nice and feathery. So we've got like different textures on the foliage front. Kebab sticks, which will come into their own in a minute. Dinner candles. And we've each got one large gourd, a small gourd, an apple with a spider stuck on, and a rose gold pear. So it's kind of like Harvest Festival as well. That's awesome. Okay, then for those of you that have been to my classes before, do you remember what this is called?
Sorry, miss. No.
It's asparagus fern. Yeah, well done. So I've sprayed this white because I thought if any of you didn't want to use the artificial kind of cobweb, that's kind of the look of a spider's cobweb in a natural way. We've also got Chinese lanterns, which are perfect colour to match. And we've got babola sticks, which are kind of like a maze, but they're just, because they come in different colours, so we've gone for like the dark green, almost sort of black colour in those. And this is from the pampas grass family, but it's not pampas. This one's called Miscanthus, and it's lovely. It's got silky texture to it. So with that combination, we've got really interesting mix of textures and forms, which all together make a more interesting arrangement. Okay, so first of all, we need to anchor in the dinner candles. So we've got pot tape that we will just unravel. Get yourselves a strip of each at the ready, and then with your kebab sticks, cut into approximately 6 short pieces, 3 for each candle. Okay, and then at the bottom of your candle, start your tape off like so, and just feed the sticks underneath the tape to secure them, and then the kebab sticks act like prongs that go into the oasis that hopefully will keep the candles into place. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to have the other one slightly higher. They are the same length, but if I've sunk this one in a bit more, but if you want them more spaced out or closer, that's entirely up to you. I've always said to the ladies that come, I'm showing you an idea, but it's your piece of work, so you make it the way you want it and the way that you think it'll look where are you going to put it in your house? Do you want it front facing? Do you want it all around? Bear all that in mind so that it works for you as well. Okay? So, oh, me pear. Okay. So just push the top of the cellophane down, or just trim it so that you don't see any of that shining through. Then I'm going to come, I've got my kind of height, but I will come higher with other things. But I'm going to create the skirt now that comes around the bowl of this lovely pumpkin. So I've already cut this into pieces, but your stem will look like this when you get it. And you need to break it up into sections. You always trim the end because that will have dried already, and straight in about an inch into the oasis. And then I'm just going to have some on this side. Most of the foliages that we're using are dried and sprayed. So in a few weeks' time, when you think, well, still a lot going on there, so I'd rather, to keep it going, just take away your stuff that's finished. Go and look in your garden, or come and just buy a couple of stems and refresh the look. Just keep your oasis watered, and you could keep this going for quite some time. Have it on your doorstep even, and then as we're getting into the more Christmassy things, you could pull it off and then dress your door with a lovely wreath, for example. I like to celebrate all the seasons, so I like to always have something on my door and in my porch that says it's autumn, it's Halloween, it's Christmas, spring, and right through the year, summer as well. Okay. I think it's really something that's come on since we've been in lockdown. Everybody's embraced the fact that let's make our houses look amazing because we've got to be in there so much. So instead of going on holiday, I'll redecorate and pull that fence down and get a pathway fit. I had a pathway laid because I couldn't spend my money on going abroad, so that's what we chose to do. So I am itching for my holiday. And then this is grevillea. This is fresh, but I reckon it'll dry in your oasis. But it'll just maybe turn a bit brown, but that's fine. It'll go well with the oranges and the rusts. And now we've got a little bit of ruscus. This comes, it's fresh, it was dark green, and we sprayed it black, and it's very spiky, sorry. We just thought black for the Halloween theme. And I've also cut this is dried, so I'm not having to cut it, but we've also cut this down to sort of come through the design and add a bit of interest in that way. Okay. Then we've got our babola, and I just want to come off onto one side with these. I think they're quite interesting. They look like the budgie would have a feast. Okay. There's something to eat in this for everyone, actually. Okay, we'll just get that little bit of oak covered here. And then we've got natural moss as well. So what I do to pin the moss onto the oasis, you get wires and you just cut those down to approximately a couple of inches in length and just bend them so that they're like hairpins. And I'm just going to turn this around so I can see the front, and I'm just going to pin that moss to the oasis so that it covers all of that up. Okay, now I'm going to start placing in my heavy fruits and gourds. So the good old kebab stick, pierce the skin. You probably have to manipulate it. You might want to do it with the end of your scissors or a sharp end of wire. Twist that into there, and then I'm just going to face that one here. This apple's already got a spider living in it. Again, good old kebab. Okay, I'm going to do this to that side there. And then the little gourd. Yeah. I'm going to have that here, and then I'm going to have my rose gold pear just in there. Okay. Okay, so then it's just a question of filling in a little bit. So with the odd bits of leaves you've got, now concentrate on getting that oasis covered. So you can break all this up and make it into more pieces than you start off with. And then we'll have just something coming off that way as well. And then the Miscanthus is also fresh. So we cut this on the slant and we'll balance it out, so we've got something coming out that side and something to balance it over this side. Okay. Got more grevillea, so I'm just going to turn to see. Yeah, it's just needed here. I've got more moss, so I can cover the oasis at the back with that moss, with the pin. And then the asparagus fern that I've sprayed just acts like a spider's web, and we'll just drizzle that over. And also, a little friend brought me this, so I'll just put that spider's just created his little home. And then the last little treat we've got are the Chinese lanterns, to bring a bit of bright orange through. And I've just cut that off the natural stem and popped a wire through. So I'll start that again. Get your wire, hold the natural stem between your finger and thumb, pull those two down, have one longer than the other, and then bind it around that stem. And then just to bring a splash of the orange over this side. Okay? And then I haven't brought my glue here, but if you want to glue it on to one of your gourds, you can, or if you want your spiders just hiding because someone's frightened of them, that's fine. And that's my pumpkin design. Okay? So what I didn't tell you at the start was I've pre-soaked your oasis. The brown oasis is eco-friendly, so that breaks down a lot better than the green. You've each got 2/3 of a brick, and we've got a lovely big sink in our kitchen now, and I just filled the sink with flower food water, popped the oasis bricks on the water, and they sink. You don't push them down. What happens if you push them down? You create air pockets. So your stems going into that part of the oasis that's not got any water is going to dry up and die straight away. So let it naturally sink. It's been sinking for ages. It literally takes 5 minutes and then you're done. So that's the little bit I've done for you, and I've pre-cut your cellophane for you to wrap it, but I haven't carved the pumpkins. Sorry. I will help them. Okay guys, let's go do it.